tariffs that can make an impact on a favorite American pastime. Grabbing a brewski, a long neck, a tall boy, some suds. Talking about beer, of course. Starting today, there's a 25% tariff on all imported aluminum and steel. That, of course, could mean higher prices for homes and cars, really anything that's made with metal, which means you could also pay a bit more to crack open that cold one, especially if it's a tall boy. Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady explains why.
Talea Beer Co.'s co-founder Leanne Darlin says it's a challenging time to be in the craft brew business.
Oh, so good.
Even if you're doing well.
There's definitely a shift of people looking for a healthier lifestyle and going to non-alc. There's 9,500 craft breweries. The market has become oversaturated.
The woman-owned brewery, headquartered in Brooklyn, has grown quickly in a few short years, despite rising costs.
What's hit us hardest is the cost of construction. We've built 5 locations in 4 years, and then our payroll costs. We've felt that year over year.
And now, on top of rent, labor costs, and keeping 5 tap rooms running, tariffs could trickle down into higher operating costs.
So what do you need to import to make the beer?
So the 3 main things that are on our mind with imports right now are steel, which are all these tanks, but luckily we won't need too much more of that right now. Aluminum for the cans and the grain that goes into the beer.
Over the past 5 years, aluminum prices are up nearly 30% and steel up 43%. That's before tariffs. But Darlin is hopeful she can share any potential cost increases with suppliers.
If we were to see an import tax applied to aluminum, I mean, how big of an impact could that make?
So aluminum costs represent 25% of the cost of a case of beer for us. If we were to take that on ourselves, I mean, that's obviously going to impact our bottom line, and we would have to figure out how we're going to hopefully share the burden of those tariffs.
If Talea can't share the cost of that aluminum tariff, it could mean a 5-cent increase per can. For food and beverage businesses like breweries, coffee shops, and restaurants, margins are tightening. Any cost increase eats into profits.
Sometimes we get complaints that our beer is too expensive, but everything's expensive now.
While Darlin is hopeful Talea can weather the storm, many other industries rely even more heavily on aluminum and steel. The housing and auto industries, for example, could feel the tariff pain to a greater extent.
Kelly, did you have a beer while you were there?
Maybe later in the day. We filmed that at 11 a.m.
Not before. Oh, wow.
We love Talea. They've got a couple locations in Brooklyn, and I know you went to one in Manhattan. And you said there's something else that's interesting. It's not just the aluminum that they use because they make their own beer. The hops.
That's right. So the grain, when there's a 25% tariff on goods coming from Canada, that's also going to cost more. So it's just so many of their inputs going in to make that beer in that can that's costing more.
Kelly, I know nothing about this subject because I said, is a tall boy a sandwich? There were like crickets in the studio. Like,
Yeah, there was a little bit of laughter, too.
yeah, there was that, too.
Well, when we go on our Masters weekend, there's going to be beer involved, all right? So we'll introduce you.
Okay.
All right, Kelly, thank you very much. Appreciate it.